I wanted to make sure I framed this properly because I think this is the best way to look at it. What Verizon has done over the last 2 years, so like this year, last year, and a little bit, in 22. Verizon didn't want to raise all the pricing on all their plans at the same time. What they wanted to do, apparently, in terms of their plan, was raise the rate on a per line basis on all legacy plans, but I think they wanted to do it in phases, meaning, this generation of old legacy unlimited plans, then we'll do this other, you know, set of legacy plans. So basically, all legacy plans saw price hikes. They just did it in like a staggered or a phased rollout. All right. So the news from CNET broke today that Verizon was going to raise prices. The dollar amount is a little bit hefty. The recency of these plans is really interesting too. And, my 2017 unlimited lines, those got increased like a year ago. The previous announcement for price hikes were to like the above unlimited, beyond unlimited. You guys remember that generation? It was right before like the get more, do more, play more. So like it's been a phase by stage rollout of price increases to all legacy plans. We also got the news 2 weeks ago about business legacy plans also seeing price increases. So consumer prices, business prices, basically all the legacy plans have all been hit. This time, instead of it being like that normal $3 price hike, these plans got hit with a $4 price hike. So the 5G get more, the 5G play more, the 5G do more, and then the 5G started limited plans, all confirmed, prices increasing by $4 per line starting March 1st. I don't see any other plans mentioned on this particular article, so we'll just leave it at that for now unless we get more information later. I just don't think there's any other plans left that haven't been touched. So I feel that's kind of how things have played out. That's kind of my perspective. I think that's the right way to look at it. I think we should talk about the dollar amount, though, right? Moose, I want to start there. Most of the price increases we saw previously for the legacy plans came in at $3 price line increase. Why $4? Why on these plans $4?
And by the way, these plans are more expensive than the legacy ones, right?
Yeah.
Than the previous time.
Yeah.
This is very interesting that you don't think that they're going to go and revisit the previous phase plans and upgrade, or not upgrade, but increase the price even further? Come on, guys.
Yeah,
this
but
is very simple. This is
Moose, talk to me about this. Talk to me about this number, right? Started unlimited, if I remember correctly, was $70 a line.
Okay, $70.
Okay. And then it was $5. No, it was $10 more for the
$70.
More. Yeah, it was $70.
Oh, no auto pay though. No auto pay.
I just remember the advertised price. It was 70, I think.
I think it was 65.
Yeah, 65 with auto pay. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm tracking.
With auto pay. Okay. Yeah. All right. Do more and play more were priced the same. They had like a difference in hotspot data, something like that, like priority data or something. It was a very small nuance difference, and I think that was $10 more. And then it was the get more. Was their I don't know, what would you call that? Like the God tier plan or whatever, the highest premium plan at the time. I think that came in at $85 or $90.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
So if you have a single line of get more, I mean you're more expensive than their current offer for their most premium plan.
Unbelievable.
You really gotta like your get more plan and all that comes with it. And if you aren't using all those things, you might actually save money by going to the what is it, the plus?
See, I've had this debate where all carriers prefer that you're on the most current plan because they are building all of their features, all of the 5G SA core, all the different things to the latest and greatest plans. For example, right, the AT&T Premier plan has the ability, if you're in a 5G SA market, for your line to be activated with 5GSA. Now, we can say that T-Mobile allows anybody and everybody that has 5GSA capabilities to have 5GSA, right? But in the future, I'm pretty sure that depending on your plan, price point, rate plan, whatever, right? You're going to be in a different network slice. You're going to be in a totally different prioritization level. There's no way that moving forward is going to be the exact same way as how it was in LTE. So, if it makes sense to upgrade in a sense to the new plans because they're cheaper, might as well do it now, right? But it also is an opportunity for the folks listening to shop around. Because now, if you realize that, hey, for the same amount of money, I can be going to another carrier, why am I not taking advantage of the fact that I can shop around? Right?
Because no other carrier has a better plan than 5G Get More.
Well, again, going to Sneed's point, if you're not utilizing all those benefits,
then you're shopping.
Right.
Okay, you're shopping for another carrier that's going to give you what that the Ultimate doesn't give. We already know pricing is very much in line across all three MNOs. So what are you going to save by moving?
Not necessarily. So if hypothetically you work for a company that offers a discount, or you work for as like a nurse or whatever, right? There are other carriers that offer better discounts and will give you a better price.
So you're saying that this price
and a worse
increase,
network experience.
You're
Well,
saying
that's
that this-
debatable.
right?
That's
right.
not debatable. No, it's
But
not. It's
you're-
not debatable.
But the price
Absolutely
increase
debatable.
creates the opportunity
No,
for shopping.
Say that again, Sneed.
The price increase creates the opportunity for churn.
It will. I'm telling you this
Listen,
right now. It
everybody's
will create a
increasing
churn
prices.
bubble.
Everybody's increasing prices though. So I mean, so this is getting tiresome.
See, I
Every
got one
time
problem.
somebody increases, every time a carrier increases prices, it becomes breaking news, as if the entire industry hasn't already told America, we are going to raise prices. Why is this news? I don't understand.
Well, the thing
Well,
with
like,
it
we
being
already know this was coming.
right, but my only issue with this, I'll be honest with you, there's so much value in Get More. I actually feel like people should pay the $4 and just be like, it's all good. I'm getting a lot in this plan, so who cares?
I completely
My
agree.
only issue is my only issue is these plans aren't old, dog. They're not old at all. I mean, I know they're officially legacy, right? Officially, but they're not old. Like, people were buying this plan like a year ago.
Well, here's the thing, Sneed. The 5G Get More plan is the only one in America across all three carriers that still offers all of the streaming and all these perks included in the plan.
Facts.
Everybody else kind of went away from it. So if you're a Verizon executive and you know that it's pretty much buffet style, the customer who's on that plan can consume as much as they like. They have access to these streaming partners. They got the Google Play Pass and all this other stuff. When your current offering is a la carte, why wouldn't you want to do what you can to at least get people to consider moving to the newer pricing? Now, to your point, Sneed, if you're looking at the differences in cost between the Ultimate and the 5G Get More, and you're looking at what the Get More offers you, it still offers you more. Even the $4 increase, I mean, unless you have multiple lines, if it's a single line, maybe two lines, it's still worth the cost, because you're not going to get what the 5G Get More plan gives you with any other carrier. AT&T doesn't offer jack as it pertains to,
Modern day plans.
streaming. They don't offer anything, and they got the worst network of the three in terms of 5G mid-band rollout. Yeah, I mean, they do. They are the furthest behind.
I wouldn't say they have
on
the
5G,
worst
on
network.
5G mid-band. Come on, why not? They are the furthest.
Yeah, I would
They
say
are
they
the
have
furthest.
the least amount of 5G mid-band. Correct.
And so because of that, compared to their competitors, they have the worst network of the three. They don't have nearly as much 5G mid-band as everyone else. So you're not going to get the streaming perks. You're not going to get the network experience. What are you going to say? $10? Well, your discount, okay, nurses, all right, $15. And what are you getting in return? T-Mobile, we talk about the differences between Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile's networks all the time. They're starting to punt on value and on streaming perks too. Where are you going to go?
Man, this is
especially
crazy.
especially when the entire industry already said we are all going to raise prices. Like they're all going to do it.
They're all kind of
So
nodding to each other to raise prices.
so what's the churn bubble then? Well, I mean, customers going to go to prepaid. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
but Verizon does have the highest churn in the industry.
not by much. It was
Right.
.89. I'm sorry, .87 and .9. I mean, we're
This is a
splitting
company
hairs
that
right now, guys.
right, B, but historically they were number one for years.
They do have the highest churn.
And historically, people were willing to pay way more for phone service than they are now. So
They
I mean,
have the highest
you're
churn.
right.
B.
It's .9 last quarter. It was
What is
.9. And
.9
T-Mobile was
out of
at
107?
.87.
What is .9 out of the highest subscriber base in the United States?
Listen, man, I understand. I can do math. But what I'm saying
So
is,
they're the highest
but
churn. This is simple
what
math.
okay, I understand that. But we're talking about .84, .87, and .9. None of these carriers are very far. They're not very
significantly
far apart.
lower subscriber bases.
You're absolutely right. AT&T has the least amount of subscribers in the industry. Then you have T-Mobile. Then you have Verizon. You're absolutely right. I understand everything you're saying. I acknowledge it. What I'm saying is all three carriers are very, very comparable when it comes to churn. .84, .87, and .9. They're not super far apart. We're talking about three carriers that have already let people know, hey, churn, like prices are going up. Where are you going to go to get a better offering for streaming services if you're on 5G Get More? What company is going to offer you better? If you don't want those things, there are other plans that are available with Verizon that will save you money.
Hey, B, could you take this one from Tech Guy 32? It's directed at you. He said AT&T raised their price 99 cents, added some hotspot data. Verizon is adding a $4 increase, nothing added. Your response to that?
They added 99 cents to the price point and hotspot data on plans that were already the worst in the industry. That's my response.
Hold on a second, B. You just said AT&T had the worst network and they have the worst plans?
Okay, tell me I'm wrong. Are they not the furthest behind on the 5G mid-band rollout?
Nobody cares about the 5G mid-band. Literally.
Yes, they do. Okay, so
only
they did.
network enthusiasts.
When did they stop caring? When did they stop caring?
Only network enthusiasts care about it.
When did they stop caring? When AT&T became third?
Yeah,
Dennis, let me hear you on this. This is crazy. Dennis, let me hear this. This is crazy.
All right, so I just want to see you both have been making some great points. I've been taking notes. I'm going to run through them real quick, and then I'll let you guys respond.
Nice, Dennis.
So first question was, why did they increase the price on these plans? That was like the first question that kicked this all off on these particular plans. And me personally, I think it's just because of strictly the fact that they are the ones that include the streaming services, which add value. But we've seen those streaming services increase prices, so I'm sure Verizon has had to pay extra, and so they're passing it on to the consumer. Second part, Moose, to your point about updating plans. So all the carriers wanting to update users off legacy plans to modern plans. I think there's a different factor in regards to this. Specifically, I believe it's in regards to the bill codes within their legacy billing systems and maintaining the knowledge base around that within their customer care department. I know from internal sources that Comcast, for example, has to pay money each time they update their bill codes for their legacy systems. Third point, for the shopping around aspect, I don't think the plan is going to be really what matters. There is a human element and emotional element here. I've recently gotten a taste of what it's like to have a little bit of financial shock, and it changes the rationale behind when I'm making the decision makers or my decision making when looking around. And also, we got to remember that there's a lot of lucrative deals still out right now by the other carriers for new phones. And even if there are short promotional discounts, they still make the comparison look a lot cheaper, especially when we start talking about convergence of bundling with the fixed wireless products from a cost saving aspect, to the point where it may be so cheap that they can buy their streaming services individually and still be coming out ahead with more. And then to the fourth point, be in regards to people wanting to pay, consumers willing to pay more in the past. The past is not the present. As I previously touched on, there's nothing today being offered to consumers that's justifying the increase in rates at the present moment. T-Mobile, for example, is just now seeing the returns on their 5G build out, now that the majority of the consumers have 5G capable handsets and that their mid-band has reached a majority of their customers, while Verizon and AT&T are still not done with the build out to pay dividends on the experience, as well as as well as the majority of their consumer base not having capable handsets to support all the technology that they had to deploy due to the way the spectrum was divided. And that's where I was at as far as keeping up. You guys can feel free to respond.
Verizon's 5G penetration rate with respect to phones, I think they reported well over 60%. So, I mean, I think the majority of their customer base does have 5G capable phones that can take advantage of the latest and greatest that they've built out. I mean, they do.
iPhone
as far as
12
like
and newer, I think they're at like close to 70%. B.
Yeah, I mean, as far as so that addresses that point. As far as pricing is concerned, this is the first time these particular plans have had a price increase at all. And if you can go and do a la carte with Hulu and Disney and all these other people and pay less than a $4 increase, then more power to you. But I want whatever deal you can find, because good luck. Because the content providers are increasing prices as well. So I challenge that thought and say you're not going to be able to do a la carte with these streaming services and pay less than the $4 increase that Verizon's asking for. You're not.
Well, two parts. Remember that in this scenario, I'm saying that you're switching to someone that's going to be providing you a cheaper rate. Like, so if you're, let's just say all in with Verizon, you're at like $100. Okay, you're at $100 for this plan, and you're paying, I don't know, $50 with your cable provider for internet. So $150 together, right? But you're able to work out a real sweetheart deal with T-Mobile. You get on their, what is it, Go 5G Plus or whatever, and get the T-Mobile Home Internet, and you're coming out at like $100 for the two. Now you got $50 worth of wiggle room to get your streaming services, and you might not even necessarily need all the things that were included in that particular plan. Like for me personally, all I care about is Hulu. In fact, I would derive more value from having Hulu with no ads and just having that. I don't care about Disney Plus. I don't care about ESPN Plus. I don't care about the arcade perk or the Verizon cloud storage. I also just want to be clear, though, that I don't think $4 is unreasonable as to Sneed's point, because I do think the plans provide a lot of value, and I understand the reason behind why it needs to increase, because T-Mobile's done similar things to legacy plans when it comes to Netflix on us. So I'm not saying that the increase isn't justified. I'm just explaining that from a consumer standpoint, and going back to the whole shopping around aspect, not much about this particular price increase necessarily translates clearly to the consumer, or at least the messaging around it isn't quite clear. I don't think, personally.
I mean, what do you think Verizon should come on and tell people about a $4 price increase?
I think Verizon should straight up say that, we're due to the increased cost of Hulu and Disney Plus, we're increasing the cost for these lines by $4 for that reason. Very clearly communicate it, similar to when T-Mobile had to communicate the Netflix price increases for people that were paying for Netflix on us.
Okay, that's fair. So this was just released today, and to my knowledge, it doesn't look like, I didn't see anything from Verizon specifically. So this is probably some sort of
out.
I haven't seen anything as far as an email. I know I've got the 5G Get More plan. I ain't get no email yet. So maybe you're right. Maybe that stuff is either forthcoming or whatever the case may be. But if this was just released today, I mean, it seems like maybe it was leaked to CNET. None of these people, I didn't see in in any of the articles that have been posted so far a direct quote from Verizon at all.
Yeah, we'll
It's
treat
just
that
this is what
as
happened.
unofficial
So
leaks, I guess.
yeah, so I mean, perhaps those types of statements are coming down the pipe, but even if they do, I mean, people have already been shopping around. That's where we are as a country right now when it comes to telco. People were already doing that. So if that didn't stop T-Mobile from increasing prices, AT&T from increasing prices, Verizon from increasing prices, then it's fair game at this point. And consumers will decide where they want to go. If they decide that they want to do prepaid or MVNO or whatever the case may be, who has the most prepaid and MVNO pricing contracts right now for service? Yeah, so I mean, you cover what you can and you let people decide. I don't think that's a horrible strategy. You cover what you can and you let people decide. But it doesn't seem to me, to your point, Dennis, and I agree. I think you articulated it well. I don't think $4 is unwarranted or unsubstantiated based on what's in the 5G Get More plan and based on the fact that we know the content providers have also been increasing prices over the last year to year and a half and will probably continue to do that as well. So if they're, passing these price increases on to the customer in hopes that they'll either stay with those plans or consider going to the newer pricing, then I don't know. I don't see a problem with that. I really don't.
I think that in an ideal world, in my opinion, in an ideal world, I think a better move that Verizon could have done is because it's clear that Verizon doesn't want people on these plans. They don't want to lose revenue to these streaming providers any longer, and it's pretty clear with like how the my plans are structured and how those are handled. I think it would have been nice if Verizon maybe had a temporary incentive offer similar to what they did with the BYOD promotional credits for new customers when they brought their own devices for the legacy customers to help transition them or direct them into the plans that Verizon wants to get them onto, whether that be because of the improved experience or whatever the reason is behind why Verizon wants to do it. That could make switching a lot less painful for customers, I think. But yeah,
T-Mobile's not doing that.
Well, T-Mobile's done some other things to try to help soften the blow, right? Like we saw them add additional content with the Hulu. We saw the Apple Plus, and then we saw like things like Paramount Plus happen, right? Like T-Mobile has thrown in other tidbits, even if they were only for 12 months, to try to help soften the blow whenever they make some changes. And so far, based off communications, nothing along those lines is necessarily happening. But I mean, I feel like I covered everything in detail in regards to the matter.
It is what it is. I mean, people decide they'll do what's best for them, but I think the carriers, it's a business. The carriers are going to do what's best for them too. So, $4 is not unreasonable. I mean, especially when everybody has declared price increases, including the streaming services that are bundled into a lot of these plans. You go get them by themselves, you're still better off getting them from a carrier. So it is what it is.
So I've already talked to a couple of my peoples that still have Verizon, and they have 8 lines. Okay. They're in a situation where times are tough. They are very tight on the cash, and a $32 increase
It's heavy.
is a big deal.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there is a massive discrepancy between what B's seeing and what I'm seeing, but people that are affected by this plan and they have multiple lines, they are definitely going to notice and they're definitely going to do something about it.
And they have options such as switching plans. Of course, if they want to switch carriers, they can. If they decide that they want to assess, how much they need, 8 lines, I respect all of those things. I get it. I acknowledge all of those things. I get it.
Can we clarify something real quick, Sneed?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I'm not uber familiar with Verizon's mix and match because I don't have multiple lines with them and don't really partake. But if a customer in the case of Moose's example, a person has 8 lines, right? Could a customer switch like 7 of those lines over to the new My plans if they're
Yes.
cheaper and more affordable, and then keep 1 line on the legacy plan?
Yes.
Okay.
So then what's the big deal?
Wait a minute. Hold up.
You have options to be able to make things affordable or more affordable if you like. I don't understand.
I thought that you can't have a mix and match situation with a legacy plan.
You can only add lines to legacy accounts. So
No, what if I understood Dennis? He's saying, let's say
he's
8
saying
lines.
you would downgrade them to
No.
like the new plan.
I was
7 of
saying
those
you would
lines, they
put
go to
My-
the news plan.
Yeah, you'd put them on My plan.
Yeah. They
I
put them
don't-
on the
I
My
can't-
plan.
I can't confirm if you can do that. I know that when you add lines, you can add the new ones. So like, let's say you had the 8 lines, you wanted to add 2 more, you would be adding My plan versions of the lines.
Does anyone in the community know? Because like I'm not sure. Like, because if what I'm saying is true, then it's not too bad because you only need 1 line to be on the legacy.
I'm gonna
plan.
guess no.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna like if I had to guess, like let's say $5 is on the line, we bet $5. I would bet $5. You can't.
I don't want to
You're gonna
bet because I don't know. So, but either that or like you could downgrade. I'm assuming you could at least downgrade within the existing old structure. Like, if not, if you have 8 lines on Get More Throw, or are they all getting the $4 increase regardless? The Start get it too?
Yeah.
Oh shucks. Okay.
See, at that point, it makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah. Then no.
Yeah, if you're a Start Unlimited customer, you're getting the hell out of that plan because I mean you're already at no value. You got nothing.
Raging
I mean, you don't even get 5G ultra wideband. You know.
Yeah, Raging Dusty came in. He's saying that you could move 7 of the 8 lines over to the new plan.
Oh snap! Okay, all right, that's pretty cool. See, you know, Verizon, they have played nice with those types of things. You know, you could say what you want. At least they let you keep your legacy plan, right? You just pay the price increase.
Yeah, I know AT&T didn't do that. That's why.
Right, and then T-Mobile, you know, they try to migrate everybody's plans. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand. I mean,
look, if you really like your plan, if you really like your plan at Verizon, they'll let you keep it. You just got to pay.
Yeah, I mean, we got T-Mobile charging people $5 just to pay the bill in the store. And we're like, I mean,
they charge you $5 to pay your bill on the phone and automated system. Bro.
This is ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, but
I mean, every time there's a price increase at Verizon, it's like it's sold as the sky is falling. When you have the pink guys who've been raping customers for the last 2 years, and the customers haven't cared. They're still adding lines. They're still the leader, and Moose is still saying they're going to add 4 million people in 90 days. I mean, people don't care. They don't seem to care when T-Mobile does whatever they want to do.
Yeah,
we got Verizon who's talking about a $4 increase on plans that haven't even been touched, and we're saying that it's going to be a churn bubble. All right, well, I mean, maybe it will be. I can't predict the future. I don't know, but what I do know is that you had one carrier, Verizon, .9. You had T-Mobile at .87, which was an increase in their churn. So if we're going to talk about bubbles, they had one too. And then, of course, you had AT&T, which has been very consistent at .84. They've been the ones that have defied logic and not offered any value at all other than network access. And for whatever reason, they're still growing. And they haven't given any value.
Deals. They're
hitting with the important thing for the customer.
Which is phones. They've been giving away phones.
Right.
Yeah, they've been giving away phones. So, I mean, you pick your poison. You try to accommodate the customer as much as you can. But again, these price increases seem warranted based on what the plans offer.